Hi, Deborah. How are you? Thank you for the topic. So, Deborah responded to one of my posts asking for topics to make a video, and hers was following one's heart space. What to say on that? It's a common phrase. Now, if we were to take it exactly, following one's heart space, but I guess you can follow your heart space, but I think it's also about being in your heart space. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about both. Following your heart space. Well, yeah. Of course. Should we always? Life, it's a funny thing. We're these incredible beings in these incredible shells with immense power, sending out waves of energy that affect the world and shape the world. Literally. And yet we all get struck with amnesia. I've said it before, it's like, and we've all experienced it. It's why 1 minute you can be in tune with everything in yourself and be in your heart space and be peaceful and feel grateful and a lot of things you can feel, but when you're really in tune with yourself and with life, and then the next moment, bam, we're worried about bills, or we're worked up about something about the past somebody said or whatnot. And so we do this kind of swing. And I think people that really pursue spirituality and self-healing and self-growth, we start to all feel that as the years go on. We feel this swinging. And there's lots of reasons for the swinging, but the amnesia part is one of the big ones. And so, why? Well, why do we get amnesia? Well, I don't have a definite answer to that. It seems to be part of the expression, part of the condition, part of this consciousness figuring itself out. It doesn't seem to be by accident. It's completely common to every human being on the planet. So, yeah, why do we swing? Why aren't we more in the heart space? When we embrace the heart space so much, why do we then forget and not go back into the heart space or follow things that, follow the heart space? So why? I don't know if we're going to have a definite answer on that, again, except to say what is. But the mind definitely, as always, has something to do with it, I think. So we have this energy, this source. What the real you. If you want to locate the real you, either right now or remember to a time when you've done this. If you can do it now, great. But when you get into a peaceful state where your mind's not thinking, think of a moment, if you're not in one now, when you're just sitting there and thoughts are not moving through your head, and you're feeling relaxed, and you're feeling love, and you're feeling in tune, and you're just chilling out, and there's no thoughts going on. There's no thoughts at all. Well, then, are you there? Aren't you gone? Because we're our thoughts, aren't we? We're these characters and these thoughts and these ideas and these concepts. So if you're sitting there for a long time and you're in a certain state and you're not having any thoughts, then what is there? So the mind's not there. So something's still there. So that's what I'm pointing at is locating yourself. Stillness does that. And that's the heart space. It's even deeper than the heart space, but we'll call it the heart space for now. If anything, the heart space is what leads us to our true selves. The peaceful, empty, full place. The place that we all want to be, and we all love when we're there, and we also, part of us, the mind, fears the emptiness of it, because it misinterprets the emptiness. It starts to get scared. There's nothing. We just are, you know. So the mind can get frightened of that. But when the mind isn't in play, then it doesn't feel like a dreaded emptiness. It feels wonderful. It feels freeing. It just is. And then it can even transform and start to feel like something else. A lot of people, especially in Buddhist practices, always talk about the emptiness. But I think what's not talked about enough is the feeling of everything, oneness, because that's also part of it. Everything's paradoxical here. So when you're in that space, it's also can be a feeling of being connected and in tune. And be honestly with me, I've never felt the emptiness. I felt a slipping away, an emptiness of the stuff that doesn't matter, the emptiness of the illusions. But I've never felt, and that's just me, you know, but to me I've always perceived it when I felt it. And especially in my really big awakenings. And one in particular I had for 3 days, about a year or so ago, that was so powerful. And it was more a feeling of, for me, connected to everything. Just everything is one, everything is the same, everything is magic. So, either way, that's how you locate yourself. Go to stillness. And that's you. So when your mind's not going, then there's only two possibilities. Either you're dead, which you're not, or our minds, our personalities, our thoughts, there's something behind that. There's something behind that. There's something behind that. There's something fueling all of this. Magic fueling all of this. Consciousness behind it all. So, heart space, you know, can be looked at different ways. It probably means different things to different people, but I think we could think of it as a way to remember that we're that. It's a way of remembering. It's a way of traveling back to that place, that state. It can be. Just by being in the heart space. Or by doing things, following things that lead you to the heart space. So, when we get amnesia, that's when we really need to remember. And people will remind us, life will remind us, and we just got to keep our eyes open and accept the gift when we see it. It could be a video, it could be a blog, it could be somebody tells you something, a stranger. It could be something you witnessed, but something that reminds you of the heart space, of the real you. So, yeah, get in, you know, we hear it all the time, get into your heart space as much as possible. Absolutely. Why else? If we're not really our minds, and they can be great tools, but we see the damage that they do to us, the suffering it causes, because all of our suffering is our own. We live in paradise. We're infinitely blessed, but we're suffering like crazy and competing and fighting and stressing and worrying and conceptualizing and questioning and taking for granted and not being connected to nature, separating ourselves and swimming in the mind and not being connected to the heart space. We see all of this. I might have lost my train of thought on that one, so I apologize. I'll just keep going. So we do forget it's just part of this game. The amnesia kicks in, and when it kicks in, that's when we want to remember whenever possible, do things that remind us, or pay attention when the universe reminds us, because it will constantly. You know, it could be just that you swimming in your mind of useless, pointless things, and then, you know, a puppy runs in the room and takes a shit right on the carpet in front of you, you know. Now, depending on how bad the state you're in your mind, you could freak out, yell at the dog, and make it all worse. But, you know, it could also be seen as a reminder. You might break out laughing and just go, you, oh, right on the carpet. You know, maybe the timing of it or something. Could be anything, or you just see this balloon suddenly float by the window, you know. Wow, there you go. There's a moment for you. You can just ignore it, or you can stop and go, oh, wow, watch the sun beaming behind it, watch where it goes. You know, that's a moment. That's being, that's a reminder, and it can tune you back in. It could be something just as eating, you know. Appreciate what you're eating. If you're eating a meal, each meal is a gift, and eating itself with these shells, these tastes and smells and textures, it's amazing. They're a gift. So, you know, you can get in the heart space, just stop right there and just start really tasting it and just really savor it and just be grateful, and there you go, you're in the heart space. So anything can take you to the heart space, anything that makes you happy, anything that makes you feel good. So get in the heart space whenever you can, especially if you feel amnesia kicking in. And you know when it's kicking in, it's this fog. First, it seems to come in like a fog, doesn't it? Sometimes thoughts first and then a fog, but sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes in a rare morning I'll wake up and I won't have any negative thoughts, but this fog kind of rolls in. And then usually some thoughts start to follow, eventually start to trickle in. I think it's the mind going, hey, something's wrong, do you feel that? Something, you know, it's just energies playing out probably, who knows what. You know, we're all connected collectively. It's understandable we're going to be always picking up vibrations and things that aren't always directly us. Anyways, I'm rambling. Let's get back to the heart space. So the heart space. So, yeah, be in the heart space as much as possible. It's a great cure for amnesia. Well, not cure, but it's a great... I'm not sure there is a cure. Well, there is a cure, but not many of us find it a permanent cure. But it's good medicine for amnesia. And following your heart space, absolutely. Do the things you love. And now sometimes we have to do things in this crazy world and crazy system to make money and do things. But I also encourage you that if you're one who really wants to live your life and be happy and love yourself, and especially be of service to the world, especially light workers I'm talking to, check your work. It's very possible you might be doing work that doesn't fulfill you, and that's fine. You can find ways to make it fulfilling while you look for something else. You can definitely, that fulfills you more. You can definitely do that. But I do want to talk about just a second, since I'm on the topic. If you're a light worker, let's just say, for lack of a better word, or someone who's shining their light and wants to be of service and help people, you have to be of service to yourself first. It's important that you be happy and that you're doing things that you're being the change. And if you're doing work that hurts your soul, like really hurts your soul, meaning it goes against actually everything you're trying to do, and there are some people doing this. I won't get into specifics, but there are some people that are totally living the love and the light and all that great stuff, and they're doing it. They're amazing, and I'm so grateful they're here. But they're also doing things in their life, a lot of times related to how to make money, that really... Okay, obviously we do things because we need to go through them, but doing things that are really not the heart space at all. Doing things for money that demean themselves, that actually kind of keep the system going in the way it is, and actually isn't making change. So just check your work. I mean, it may not be super fulfilling, that's fine. But if you're doing work that's the opposite of the heart space, if you're doing work or doing anything in your life that is completely, it just feels the opposite of the other stuff you're doing, it just is this feeling inside, and it just, then stop. There's always other options. Do something else. You might still have to do a job that doesn't exactly fulfill you, but at least do one that's not hurting you. But don't do work that hurts you. That's definitely, and don't do things that hurt you. Don't sabotage yourself. If you're going through things, sometimes you have to go through stuff, but if you really want to live a joyous life and live in the heart space, and really, I know, you want to be on camera? Say hi, Deborah. So I'll wrap that point up. I can kind of get sidetracked, but it's kind of related. So yeah, be in your heart space, but definitely if you're doing things that are the absolute opposite of heart space, if you're actually doing things that hurt your heart because you're doing it or saying it or feeling it, then get into your heart space and make a decision to do something else that suits you. And that's how we make change. We're going to make a world where people are free and understanding and forgiving and accept one another, accept what is, and live and express and love life to the fullest, and really move to the next level and keep evolving and growing and closer to what we truly are. If we're going to do that, then definitely, you want to get in the heart space as much as possible, but you definitely want to change things that hurt your soul, that hurt you, that don't resonate with what your overall intention is. So be good to yourself. Only do things that make your heart shine whenever possible. And if the things that don't quite make it shine, you can still find little things in it. Sometimes we have to, like I said, we have to do jobs that, there's no harm in it. If it's not what I want to be doing, then yeah, you can still, until you find something else, you can find little bits and little ways to do your light work in it, or be in your heart space. So definitely I'll wrap this up. Not sure how enlightening that was, but thanks for reminding us to get in our heart space, Deborah. And do it as often as possible. And you know how to do it because you've done it before. So whatever it is, whether it's cooking, laughing, being silly, playing, creating music, poetry, art, being of service to others, whatever it is that puts you in your heart space, do it as much as possible, because that's what we're here for. Are we here to accumulate information? Are we here just to learn things and just go over things and just... No, none of that matters in the end anyways. What matters is how you live. So live. Live in the now. Be in the now. And of course that's the heart space. So yeah, why else do you think you're here? You're not here really to earn money. You're not really here to even change the world, really. We are, in a sense. It's a grand expression. But the biggest reason you're here is to be here. That's it. It's the big show. You're here to experience it and to feel and to be in your heart space, to feel these contradictions and feel these things and try to flow with it and grow and see the magic that's all around us. So get in your heart space as much as possible. Make the choice to be happy. Otherwise, what are you doing? And it's free and it's always available. Always, in every situation, you can. So tap into your heart space, love yourself, love the world, be love, be the change.